Let's pray records this whole thing. Do y'all want to know how intentional God is? If that's even the right word to use. I couldn't think of a word. But, so let me tell you this story. Last September 2024, I went to New York with my brother because he was in this fashion show. And my mom was like, you should try and do like some videography, photography for him. Because I had just started my business. And of course, like that's what I do. I'm practicing, I'm learning it and stuff like that. And so I was like, I don't know. So then finally I was like, okay, I'll go, right? So we booked the tickets, He was on his fashion show. And so we go, right? We go finally. I can't remember, maybe like the 13th, 12th, something like that, 12th through the 14th, something like that. So we went and we got there to the airport in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we got there. So he's guiding me through all this stuff. We're walking through the airport, get there early enough to make sure we check in, get through the line to make sure. And I remember the urgency of having to make sure you got there early enough to get through the line, to check your bags, to make sure you get on your plane, right? Get to your gate to get on your plane. So he's there with me throughout all this. So I'm learning all this from him, and the way he's moving around, I'm learning, okay, that's how you gotta move around. So then we get on our flight, and I'm with him to first experience my first time flying. That was my first time flying. And so I experienced that with him. So we're going through that. And then we finally get to New York. So now I get to experience how it is to be in the New York airport, how busy that can be, and make sure you know where you need to go. So my brother and us, we get to New York. We are in the airport, and we got to find our, what is it called? We get our hotel, got to find our hotel, but also we got to find our Uber. And so we get outside, and this guy's like, hey, you need a ride to that third? My brother's like, oh, no, we got an Uber. And mind you, my brother got long legs, and he's walking fast everywhere, right? The whole time we was in New York, he was walking fast. And me, I'm 5'2", he's 6'4". I got to keep up. So I'm learning that urgency as well. And so the guy tells us, oh, yeah, he told the guy that was trying to give us a ride, he told us, hey, they doing Ubers over there. If you don't get over there in time for your ride, they're going to leave you and not give you your money back. So he's like, all right, go. Again, remember? Urgency. He's teaching me the urgency. And so we finally, boom, we get our Uber. We get to our hotel, we get that, and I get to experience New York for a little bit for the days that we were there. This is why I feel like God was so intentional, and how he's so intentional, why he's so intentional, and just trusting what he does sometimes, okay? No, all the time, okay? Because, so, September, boom, that goes around, and there was this internship that I've been trying to get since, at this point, I'm a junior. I'm going into my senior year now. At that time, I was a junior in September, and I was trying to get this internship my sophomore year. That's a story in itself on how the Lord called me to, didn't allow me to get that internship my sophomore year, but I got it this past January, right? Let me tell you, this internship was in New York, and it was for a month. And God allowed me to experience what it was like to go through the entire process of flying out of Charlotte, flying into New York, finding my Uber, making sure I got to the place that I needed to safely with someone that I trusted, with my brother, to then it got to the bigger point where I would have to do it alone. So then by the time I get to January, I'm blessed to have the internship. I get to January, and now I know how to handle all the urgency of getting on time, getting to your gate, getting on the plane, knowing how the plane's how I'm gonna be able to experience the plane, landing, getting in the New York airport, and going through all of that. That's how intentional I feel like God is, that he allowed me to experience, I wouldn't say something small, but something small. He allowed me to experience something that was new to me before having to experience it on my own. Things I didn't know I was going to be able to do, if that makes any form of sense. God allowed me to go through all of this, have the whole entire rundown like a plan with my brother. He was the one guiding me because he's done this before. So then when I had to do it by myself, it wouldn't be a first time thing I was experienced. That's how intentional God is. And I actually have another story about how God uses something small to prepare you for something big. If you want that story as well, comment below. I can give you that story as well. I have plenty of stories. But yeah, that's how intentional I feel like God is.